Let me tell y'all what it means to be a certified loner, because we get a lot of backlash for absolutely no reason. Certified loners are people that have mastered being alone, people who have built a backbone in solitude that can withstand the hardships of life. You cannot break somebody who isn't afraid to live alone, eat alone, sleep alone. We don't mind waking up with nobody clapping for us because we believe in ourselves enough for the both of us. We don't have to cling to toxic people just so we don't feel alone. Losses don't shake us like most people. It don't matter who leave, because we have rebuilt ourselves so many times alone that we already know we go always find our way back. When you're this type of person, you cannot manipulate us with attention or control us with loneliness, because we move with patience. We know that being alone is not a sign of weakness, so we never have to rush into any situation that does not feel right. A lot of people end up dealing with people just because they cannot stand the silence of their own company. They literally need somebody right there or around them, giving them validation, telling them that everything is going to be all right. That's something that certified loners don't deal with. Truth be told, loners are rarely around people. So if they're around you, they truly value you as a person in their life. They truly value your presence. So that, and most likely they're probably one of the most genuine people you have in your life. When you get to this level of comfortability with your own company, you achieve a level of peace that is undefeated, because now you're at a level where everything that you have is your own. And nobody can take that away from you. And the only people that have access to it are the people that you allow in. You don't have to worry about anything else. This lifestyle is not for everybody, and everybody is not for this lifestyle. These are for the people that understand where I'm coming from, because you have truly mastered this level of self-love, and that's all there's to it.
The quiet power of becoming your own safe place. Let's talk about a type of person most people misunderstand.
One thing about me that I'm not afraid to admit is I'm definitely a loner. I don't have too many friends. I hit a family once in a while, but I really just be to myself. And it's nothing personal. I just know I can trust myself.
Pretty girls didn't just wake up antisocial. They learned that isolation felt quieter than staying available. And it's not because you're closed off. It's not because you hate people. And it is not because you can't do friendship. It's because being accessible always came to you at a price. There's a lot of research on relational stress showing that when women are open repeatedly, it can lead to projection, emotional correction, blame shifting, and your nervous system can rewrite being open as a risk. So distance stops feeling lonely and starts feeling regulated. So here's how it happens. You'll start warm and you reply quickly and you show interest, and then someone gets too attached. Someone else gets weird. Someone starts monitoring you, and then suddenly your energy needs managing. Your tone gets policed. Your presence literally becomes a problem. And then when it finally blows up, you're just told that you're too much for having reacted to pressure that you never agreed to carry. So next time, instead of choosing friendship, you choose silence because it feels peaceful. Isolating yourself feels clean. There's no expectations. Nobody's going to misinterpret you when you're alone. So if this pattern feels familiar, this is exactly why I built the Pretty Girl Survival Group Chat. It is a private, women's-only group chat for women who learn to withdraw from others because their openness kept being punished. But inside, you will learn that you don't have to over-explain, you won't be monitored or emotionally corrected. You are supported in real time by women who actually understand why being available stopped feeling safe. So if you want to try it, I will send you a free trial link to join. Just comment chat below this video and I'll DM you. But you can't logic yourself out of this pattern, right? Like you can't journal yourself into feeling safe while still being exposed to those same social dynamics that you've been experiencing. Like your nervous system is not dramatic. It's really happening. And that's really a lot of the reasons why I make these videos, to make you feel like you're not crazy. And when you stop trying to force friendliness and start honoring your need for emotional containment, you can literally just start to breathe. And it's not you being cold. You sometimes have to be selective after recognizing a certain pattern. It's discernment. But if you are out there and you don't really know how to discern certain people, the Pretty Girl's Guide to Surviving Friendship breaks this down exactly as to how people become unsafe, how friendship PTSD forms, and how you can rebuild connection without feeling like you abandon yourself. So comment, connect below this video, or go to the link in my bio to get it, and stop blaming yourself for responses that your nervous system literally learned to survive. Protect your pretty.
Not the loud one, not the one always surrounded by a crowd. I'm talking about the one who can sit alone at a restaurant, eat their food, and actually enjoy it. No phone shield, no fake texting, just present.
I call it my season of isolation, where I just genuinely stopped dating for a really long time and stopped seeking, companionship for a really long time, because I just realized the same thing, the same cycles just kept coming up. Once I fought through the initial feeling of loneliness and feeling like I really wanted or needed someone around to make me feel better about myself, once I finally got through that, I felt like I was covered with so much peace and calm and just I'm really good with my life right now. I'm really good with who I am right now. I kind of like myself. And I noticed too, the things that I wanted changed when it came to the idea of relationship. I no longer was seeking affirmations or seeking someone to fulfill me. It was kind of and still I'm kind of just in this new space of yeah, when the right person comes, they'll come, and I'll still have my own life. I'll still be my own person, and they'll be themselves. And that's what I want now.
I fell in love with my solitude. I'd rather be alone than being surrounded by negative people. And even if you can hold your peace together and you're grounded, you just do not deserve to put yourself in that situation, in that environment. No.
One of the reasons I find solitude to be so powerful is because the more time you spend alone, the less likely you are to be manipulated by people, because you have a heightened level of self-awareness, which allows you to leave environments that do not serve you. Unfortunately, there are a few people that have a low self-esteem, so they will gravitate towards people for the tiniest ounce of validation. When you start to prioritize solitude, you start to develop a greater level of appreciation and respect for your own individual self. You start to develop your own character traits. You start to think independently. You start to prioritize your own authentic self. And as a result, when you are around people that do not respect that or are trying to get something out of you through manipulation, you are not going to tolerate that, because you realize what you can give yourself, and you're not going to accept any less from anybody else. And as a result, if that means that people are going to try and manipulate you, be extremely narcissistic, you are comfortable walking away from environments that do not serve the person that you have created and the person that you appreciate, which is yourself.
I don't know who needs to hear this, but don't be afraid of the solitude that comes with raising your standards. It can get a little lonely, but it feels good. I'd rather be alone than in bad company. Ashe, friend.
I've gotten so used to doing things by myself and just being in my own company that when I want to go do something, it doesn't even cross my mind to invite anybody. I don't even think about it, because I don't really want to be burdened with trying to work around anyone else's schedule. I kind of want to go when I want to go, and I also don't want to deal with potential flaking and then me feeling disappointed and feeling do I even want to go anymore? So now I just don't even bother, and it's not personal at all. I still love everybody and all my friends and stuff, but I just really, really enjoy my own company. This is so pretty. I don't know if it's a bad thing though. I obviously want to still maintain my bonds and my friendships and stuff with people, but I don't know. I just the other day a restaurant opened, and yeah, I thought to myself maybe I should invite someone to go with me, but I had just had a long day at work and I didn't want to be let down if no one could go, so I just went by myself and I had a great time. So I don't know. I'm really just content with my own company, and I'm not just going to not do things because people can't go. The only thing that I have not done yet is go on a solo trip. I don't know if I'll ever do that or not. I mean, I can't see why not, but yeah. But I love that I've come this far, because I used to not do things unless people were accompanying me, and I'm so glad I grew out of that.
That person didn't end up like that by accident. They were built there. Because at some point they realized something uncomfortable. Being around the wrong people feels lonelier than being by yourself. And once you realize that, everything changes.
If y'all don't do anything else in life, learn to be alone. When you genuinely get comfortable being by yourself and doing things alone, you allow friendships and relationships to be something that you want instead of something that you need. The more comfortable you get with yourself, the easier it is to let people go whenever they cross your boundaries. When you genuinely learn to be alone, you don't settle. You don't force connections. You don't hold on to people out of fear. And you don't chase what feels inconsistent. Being alone teaches you discernment, and you start to choose peace over attachment. Everyone isn't meant to stay, and that's okay.
My opinion, the first step to improving your energy is isolationism. You have to be alone with nobody else around you, no energies, so you can figure out what you like, don't like, the things you want, the things you don't want to be around, and who you are as a person. I find we get so heavily influenced just by being around. Like, being around somebody, people don't understand the level of energetic connection that it takes, good and bad, to be around somebody. We are heavily influenced. We're like sponges. We're like balls of clay. We're so malleable every day, including me. It's like our energy and who we're around really affects us. So in order to know who you truly are as a person, you have to just be around your own energy. You can't be around all these other people's energy, because inevitably, as humans, we're going to be more susceptible to their energy, to who they are as people. And it's going to mesh and intertwine in it. Then you're going to be confused. You'll be like, is this me talking? Is this them talking? You know what I mean? Like, that is what energy does. And so when you just isolate, child, you're going to see the good, the bad, the ugly, and in between. But if you want to grow as a person, sometimes separating yourself and missing out on the functions, missing out on the fun, missing out on those experiences for your own self-gain are needed. And it's scary. It is so scary. Like, being alone, when you first start being alone, child, you be paranoid. But like, I wouldn't have it any other way, you know? Like, being able to grow and being able to understand who I am as a person and continuously grow. You continuously need periods of isolation. I'm very big on being in my little bubble and then popping out in the summer. You know what I'm saying? Because it's so necessary. So if you want to grow your energy this year, try being alone. I promise you, it's going to help you understand more than you know. Okay?
Dependency is always going to be the enemy of respect. And you can't have self-respect if you're terrified of fucking being alone. You need to understand that if you feel like your life is over because a relationship is over, all that means is that you haven't built yourself enough to learn how to be by yourself. High-value individuals aren't afraid of the exit because they know that their value is always portable. It goes wherever they fucking go. This is why you must obsess over healing during periods of solitude. Obsess over getting into shape so that way your mental can be intact, right? And obsess over building up your finances and working on your skill set, right? See, when you are physically elite, financially independent, and healed internally, you have the power of choice. And a lot of people take that for granted. You don't have to tolerate disrespect or fucking avoidant games because you aren't dependent on them for validation or survival. I'm gonna let that sit. See, a breakup should just be a return to a baseline that is already incredible, and you are fucking incredible. Stop pouring into someone that doesn't see your value and start building that baseline today. Make yourself so capable that your own company is your favorite place to be.
I don't really have friends anymore. And to be quite honest, I prefer it. And that's not coming from a place of bitterness. It's coming from peace, from finally understanding myself, because the amount of effort it used to take to maintain friendships, it was just constant, replying quickly so I didn't seem rude, showing up even though I felt burnt out, masking how I actually felt so I wouldn't be too much or too quiet or just whatever label people wanted to stick on me that day. And for what? I used to think that being included made me valuable. If I was invited, liked, and talked about, then maybe I was worth something. That just couldn't be further from how I feel now. That version of connection was never real. It was transactional. It relied on me keeping up an act. Now I protect my energy. I don't force conversations, and I definitely don't chase people. I'm okay with being on my own. For the first time ever, I actually feel like me. I don't need to be popular. I need to feel safe. And I found that in solitude, not social circles.
Let me tell you why solitude is important and why I go so much on social media. You need to know who you are outside of the world's influence and outside of all these things that you're taking in on a regular basis. If you are scrolling mindlessly on social media constantly, you are consciously and subconsciously taking in all of this stuff. It's called influence for a reason, and all these things that you're taking in, whether it's positive, negative, sad, happy, it affects you. When you go into solitude, it gives you a chance to tap into yourself and who you are, and it just calms the chaos. There's so much noise in life and in the world. It's important to sit with yourself. I encourage anybody and everybody to take that time for yourself every now and then.
You stop forcing conversations that drain you. You stop explaining yourself to people committed to misunderstanding you. You stop auditioning for roles in people's lives that you never even wanted. You start choosing peace over proximity. And here's the funny part nobody tells you.
Listen, this year I want you to get super comfortable with your solitude. Be intentional. Because 10 minutes of solitude every single day, purposefully, will set you free and help you find solutions to the problems that you have within your life. I've realized over the years that I was running from being alone. I was running from being in solitude because I thought it was an issue with me, instead of realizing that solitude helped me find the things that I need to keep growing. Because I was the type of person that had a ton of people around me, not realizing that it was just a bunch of noise to drown out my issues. But when you're intentional with solitude and you put yourself in solitude on purpose, then you start to find yourself more, which it allows you to grow and find people that are more like-minded like you. And when I got super comfortable with it, when I started to realize that when I turn off the noise around me, when I turn off the TVs, the music, everything, and I put myself into a state of mind where I'm just completely alone with myself, is where I actually found parts of myself that I didn't even know existed. So never run from being alone. Be intentional with it and allow yourself to be within that loneliness or that solitude so that you can find yourself and the solutions that you need to help you reach the next step within your life. I love you.
And I don't know why I bother people so bad that I really enjoy doing things by myself. Like, I don't need a person across from me every day to enjoy life. Like, I can go out to eat by myself. I am legitimately happy on my lonesome, and that legitimately does bother people, and I don't understand why, because I'm okay. And maybe it's not the most healthiest thing to do, but I like it. I love it here, and I'm not complaining about it. I can go anywhere on my lonesome and be 100% happy. Now, granted, I don't mind. I'm not weird to the point where I can't go out with other people. I do like to go out with other people, but I would honestly prefer to go out alone. I can leave when I want. I can do what I want. I can say what I want. I can sit in silence. It's hard to sit in silence around people. That's not normal. So I do like peace. I do like quiet. And I do like to be in my thoughts sometimes. I can go get me a cup of coffee. I can go get me a cute little appetizer, glass of wine, whatever the case may be, on my lonesome. I'm fine. Is it just me? Or...
At first, solitude feels like withdrawal, like your nervous system is pacing around the room asking, "Are we okay? Shouldn't we be chasing someone's attention right now?" But if you stay there long enough, something incredible happens. Silence stops feeling empty. It starts feeling full of
being comfortable with being alone and being content with my own solitude has honestly changed my life, and it's something that I really hope for a lot of people, because I think one of the biggest struggles that people have is that they're just way too dependent on other people. It is so great, and it's such a beautiful feeling to have people who you can truly depend on, people who are in your corner, people who make you feel safe and feel loved. But the most important person that needs to make yourself feel safe and loved is yourself. I think a lot of people avoid doing the work because it is work, and a lot of people don't realize that they're as codependent as they really are. But I think at the end of the day, it's just so important to realize that the relationship with yourself is the most important relationship you're ever going to have. And it is the root of all the other relationships that you have in your life. I've had such a busy week this week, and I honestly was like already starting to make plans with like other people, and I love making plans with my friends. It's not to say I don't love my friends, but I honestly have my moments where I'm like, you know what, I really want to spend the day with myself. Like, I want to hang out with myself. I've honestly gotten to the point in my life where like I just really value my own solitude, having moments of just really being with myself, getting to know myself, being curious, and doing just the things that I want to do with myself. And I think people confuse, moments of solitude with loneliness, and being alone and solitude are two completely different things. And I have had moments where like I have felt lonely. Like if I really felt like I wanted to spend time with like a certain friend or like my boyfriend, I have felt the feeling of loneliness. There are so many moments I've had where it's so intentional that I am alone and that I want and crave my own alone time with myself. It really just changed my life for the better, and I feel like I just am so much more confident. I'm so, self-aware. I'm just so sure of myself because of these moments. And I really wish that for so many people, because I think so many people really don't know themselves and they're just so influenced by everyone around them. And I feel like it is the greatest thing that you can do for yourself, because I do think that you will live a happier life being so content with being with yourself.
Clarity, full of relief, full of yourself. You learn your own rhythms. You learn what actually makes you laugh. You learn that you don't need a second opinion on every decision. You don't need a committee meeting just to decide where to eat on a Tuesday. You just go. And there's a specific kind of confidence that comes from that. Because when you're no longer afraid of being alone, people lose their ability to control you with the threat of absence.
I was watching this podcast on YouTube, right? And the woman asked her guest speaker, how do we know when it is time to get out of the isolation and solitude season? Or can we be in there for like way too long? And he answered using the example in Malachi about how like God is a silversmith when it comes to us. He said once the silversmith places the silver in the fire, he knows when it's ready, when he can take it out and see a reflection of himself. Y'all, when I tell y'all, I was just sitting there shouting. God is refining you in the fire, and it'll be time to come out when he can see a reflection of himself, when he can see him in you. And that's the goal. That's the ultimate goal. And a lot of people are forgetting that. Our Father literally wants us to mirror him, and not just how we look and how we act and all of these things, and not just how he sees you. You got to be able to look in the mirror and see him too. But he's going to take you out when he can look at you and see himself in you. And then it'll be time for that next season or for that next thing or for that next obligation. But right now you are in the fire being refined, and that's okay.
They can't manipulate you with distance. They can't rush you with pressure. They can't scare you with silence. You've already made peace with silence. And let's be honest, some people don't like that. They were counting on your need for them. They were counting on you tolerating things just to avoid loneliness. But now, you're not operating from fear anymore. You're operating from choice. And that's a completely different energy. You stop asking, do they like me? And start asking, do I even like this? You stop shrinking to fit into spaces. You start expanding into your own life. You realize you can take yourself out. You can build your own routines. You can become your own sense of stability. And ironically, this is when your relationships actually get healthier. Because now you're not choosing people out of desperation. You're choosing them out of alignment. You're not looking for someone to complete you. You're looking for someone to complement a life that's already complete. There's no rush. No panic, no emotional chasing, just calm. And calm is powerful, because calm people don't beg. Calm people don't force. Calm people don't stay where they're not valued. They simply leave. Not dramatically, not loudly, just decisively. And the truth is, becoming comfortable alone doesn't mean you hate people. It means you finally love yourself enough to stop abandoning yourself just to keep others comfortable. You're no longer trying to escape your own company. You've become someone worth staying with. And once you reach that point, solitude stops being isolation. It becomes freedom.